Another new day, another very windy, cold day as well. It's brightened up a little bit, but it's been raining, as you'll be able to see. It's horrendous in the middle of, this is the middle of summer, just to remind people. This is August the 5th, 6th, I don't know, somewhere around there, and it's pouring with rain every single day. It's horrible. Yesterday I spent over an hour on the phone to British Airways. They kept cutting me off, and then in the end it just said we can't take your call, which was very concerning because I've got 4 tickets now to travel back to the US, and I don't know which ones are the active ones and which ones are not. So this morning it took 3 hours in the end to get through and sort this all out, and finally Selena will be very happy. They've changed my tickets for no cost to a much earlier date, so I'm going home a week earlier now, thankfully. I don't like it here at all, so I'm really happy to be going home. In terms of the house, nothing's ever that easy. So the mortgage lender, as I mentioned in the other videos, if you haven't watched them, go and watch the previous ones. The mortgage lenders want you to have put an offer that's been accepted onto a property before you can apply for the mortgage. Now, normal mortgages, that isn't always the case. You can often get a decision in principle well before that. In this case, they've said, find the property first, tell us what it is, we'll then apply, you agree to pay us money, this is the broker, then we'll give you a decision in principle, and then we'll process the application. It's very strange. But what that causes is, the developer for the home that we put the offer in accepted my offer, which was great. It's £5 less than they had it up. And we'd already bought one, so they were really straightforward and upfront with me. That offer got accepted, but it's sort of contingent on how quickly we can complete. Now, in order to get the mortgage, I have to tell them what the property is. I told them. They put that through this morning, about 7 hours ago now. And the mortgage lender's out of the office on a company event. Basically, they're at the pub. So that hasn't actually been processed, otherwise that would have been processed today. But the company we're buying from, the property, has said we need to know how quickly before we fully accept your offer and take the reservation fee. So we're kind of stuck in this limbo state where the offer's fine, but we want to know how quickly can you complete. So the lady selling the home contacted me. I gave her the details of the broker, said you're welcome to reach out. The broker then reached back out to me and said, can you authorize that we can give information to the developer? Yes, you can. The response was, we're waiting on the mortgage lender to get back. So I've just emailed her separately and said, look, me and Sue in a position where we've got the money, there's not going to be an issue with the mortgage, it's just a case of waiting. The mortgage broker gets paid contingent on them securing the mortgage, so I can't foresee them dragging this out. It's going to be as expedited as possible. If we're unable to come in, because she wants me to come in tomorrow to pay the deposit or the reservation fee, but they don't want to take it until they know how long. Now, I'm leaving on Tuesday, it's currently Friday, so there's no time left. So I've said to her, look, there shouldn't be any issues, it should be expedited, they don't get paid unless they do it. Can we agree that we'll do this remotely? If we can't do it remotely, which I think we're going to be able to, is it possible, if they come back to me early enough on Monday, I'm happy to drive from where I am on Monday to the development site and pay them reservation fee and sign it there. So I'm just trying to put their mind at ease so they don't go and find somebody else. Because although it's more expensive than I wanted to pay, I like this property, I know where I'm at, I know where I'm at with the developer, I know what problems are going to come up, I know they're really easy to market and rent out, so I do want to have this property. On top of the fact, I don't want it to be a wasted journey. So I'm really hoping that they see some sense. We're not using Help to Buy, we're not using any schemes, we're not gifting deposits, there's nothing else that will delay this process. So hopefully they'll go for it and just agree to do it now rather than delaying it a week or whatever it could take. What else? Oh, I'm super happy to be going home, as I've just mentioned. Super happy. Selena's going to be super happy. But I'm cramming in some time to see friends. So I'm seeing one of my friends on Sunday for lunch. I've got to get my vaccination, my COVID test, just before I see him. So I'm going to drive to Greenwich. I'm going to get my test. I am then going to jump on the tube and go and meet him in London. I'm seeing my family tomorrow for both lunch and dinner, so that'll be Saturday. And then Monday I'm doing a double go-karting session with my brother and a friend, a joint friend. He's a friend from work, but my brother's also friends with him now. He's not really done karting before, and apparently, again, because it's summer, it's pouring with rain. So he hasn't done karting. They're reasonably fast karts, and it's going to be really wet. So he said this is going to be a baptism of fire. So it should be really fun seeing how he performs. I've then got to get from there potentially over to the developer and deal with them, and then I will probably stay in a hotel that evening just to save any potential issues. I mean, my flight's not that early. It's at 4:25, but who knows what could happen here. I haven't had a clear traffic day yet, so I wouldn't want to risk that on the Tuesday. I think that's about it for today. Oh, another Costa, dude, on my Costa. I'm excited now because I'm getting to go home soon on Tuesday, assuming nothing goes wrong and assuming my test comes back okay. The developer for the home, I think they've listened to what I've said and they said it's fine. I'm going to go and see them on Monday regardless. Hopefully the mortgage will be sorted by then as well. I am now leaving Ashford, so I've only got one more night here. I'm staying in Ashford until tomorrow, and then I'm going to go up and stay in Ebbsfleet. I'm going to see my friends, I'm going to do my go-karting and everything. But this morning I'm driving up, I'm going to meet my mum and brother at their house, and then we are going to Nandos for lunch. It's a very popular place in the UK. I'm not its biggest fan, which is kind of sacrilege if you're from the UK. But it's fine, it's nice, and I have a good time with them. And then I'm going to go back to their house, and we are going to wait until I think 5:30, and then we're going to an Italian to eat. Normally we'd eat about 6:30, but everything's booked up at the moment. You can probably see from the windows, again, this is August, and when people go, oh, it's really not that bad in the UK, because I complained my entire life. I have been here now, what is it, a week and a half? It has been raining every single day, and this is probably the least amount of rain, and it has been traffic every day, and it has been cold, as you can tell, every day. It is horrendous, and people need to stop lying. If you like this weather, fine. If you know that it's this bad, but you're just pretending, stop. It's terrible here. So I cannot wait to go home. I can't wait to see Selena. I can't wait to be warm. I can't wait to be out of the rain. I can't wait to be in a nice car. I can't wait to ride my bike. There's just nothing here for me. It has been really nice seeing my friends. It's been nice seeing Selena's family, and I love the stories that I get. It's very, very interesting. And because it's so alien to me, it's really interesting. I like learning people and being around people, even if sometimes it's slightly frustrating. You're always learning something. Oh, and I'll also do a quick tour. I'll show you around the house. So this is actually one of the houses that's being sold, so I'll show you that, and it's going up today, or it's being put up today, whether it goes up today. Normally it's 24 hours to get on there, so it'll be really interesting to see how quickly it sells and how much it sells for, and then what we'll do with any of the proceeds. So see you soon. 15 minutes into my journey. That's what it's like. As a reminder, it's August, summertime, cold, wet, horrible rain. This is what it's like every single day here. What are some of the positives? Property prices in comparison, in terms of how much they've gone up compared to where we are, lower. We get tax breaks, but I guess that's a positive with the US, not the UK. What do we have? Oh, one really good one is, within a couple of days of being here, my stomach has been far less upset because we don't inject and rub our food in all kinds of craziness. So within a couple of months of being in the US, it's upset my stomach. I don't ever have stomach issues, never had it in my life, and I have them consistently in the US, so we've had to change our diet. But here, no issues. What else is good? I would say our roads are better. Driving standards, I would say, is very similar. Having come back now, there's some reasonable drivers, there's some terrible drivers. What else? Friends and family live here. I don't know. Oh, food and drink is actually cheaper. It's definitely a lot cheaper here. Groceries, when you're going to Sainsbury's or Tesco or the Co-op, much cheaper than the US, and it's easier to eat well it. Alright, so here we are, summertime, visiting the UK. As you can see, it's wonderful. It's not as bad as people think. Trying to get into the house. Right, I'll show you the house. Let me flip it around. I'm not going to spend too much time out here because it's horrendous. Oh. Hello, still. Oh. Yeah. Have to greet the dogs when they come in. So we ended up not getting Nandos because they decided they're not delivering or taking orders. So we've gone for another traditional meal, pie and mash. Although I'd say Nandos is probably more traditional these days. Back to the video. So I've now eaten my pie and mash, very good, and in fact I think I preferred that over the Nandos. As I said, I'm not its biggest fan, not like a lot of English people. We had a little back and forth, so my mum still thinks pie and mash is more traditional, but actually I would say Nandos, if you speak to most people, at least in the south now, the traditional meal people go out for is Nandos. Maybe 50 years ago, 20 years ago, it was pie and mash, and then before that it was probably something else. But I would say a traditional meal, even though it doesn't come from here, it's Portuguese, I think they stole it from, but it's very traditionally English now. So I'm now at my parents', and this is actually a home that we own. Very complex situation, but this is going up for sale today, so the estate agent is coming around. I still really love this house. You can see in the background, nice semi-detached house in a, I mean, the road it's on isn't great, but it's a good area if you want to get into London, so it's really easy to get in. They've got a really nice garden here, and then there's a 4-car drive, and then they got a garden on the other side, so it's a full wraparound garden. It'd be really interesting to see how much it goes for, because only 4 months ago it was valued at about 50,000 less than now. That's how crazy the market has gone. So interested to see how quickly and how much it goes for. I'm going to let my food digest now, and then I'm going to go, or we're going to go to Bexley Heath to have dinner in about 3 or 4 hours.